Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing fantastic and that you're all having an incredible day. Please note that nothing said in this video is financial advice. I am not, nor have I ever been, a professional or even an unprofessional financial advisor. Please always do your own research. Today we're going to be talking about the cryptocurrencies that I am currently most bullish on and what I'm going to be buying this week. There's a lot of, I would even call it noise within the cryptocurrency space as to what's hot, what's not, what people are buying, what a lot of people are expecting to be able to do during the next bull run. I mentioned before, maybe in one or two other videos, especially on the other channel as well. There I have myself personally, just about 10x'd the amount of money that I would normally put into the market, simply because I do believe personally that the next bull run is going to be quite insane. I usually always put money into the market, whether it's going up or down, I don't really care. I always put money into it. But now I have a very strange feeling that the next run up is going to be quite significant. The first things that I'm going to be buying this week, it's an even spread, I would dare say, across three different coins. It is going to be Decentraland, otherwise known as Nano, Sandbox, and also the third one is going to be ApeCoin. Hear me out here. We just got news that the SEC is looking into the people, Animoca brands, the people who made ApeCoin and the Bored Ape Society Club, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, all those different types of things. I personally think that they will do just fine. The SEC always has investigations into different types of cryptocurrency projects. But as the price fell, I started looking more into the coin as I did before, but I still remain bullish on it. I think they are the largest cryptocurrency Metaverse project out there, and I don't think that that's going to harm them in any consistent way, regardless of what the SEC does. But that's also my personal opinion. Once again, not financial advice. And as far as Sandbox and Decentraland, these are also the other two largest Metaverse projects in the cryptocurrency space. We got news about how many users are actually using these platforms, and I actually wasn't deterred by this news. You can find it yourself. They have like an actual metric of how many people are actually using these platforms. I wasn't deterred because this has happened across the entirety of the space. Every single thing, every coin, every project, every usage is down by anywhere from 80 to 85 to 95, in some instances 95%. We are in a hyper bear recession market for everything. So it just makes sense that a lot of these projects, a lot of the interest would have had to go away. I'm also bullish on these things because Facebook / Meta's Metaverse looks horrible. So it only makes me more optimistic on the idea of decentralized platforms really going at it. Also, the most bullish of all of them, I would say, for me, in my opinion, would actually be Sandbox. If you haven't been paying attention to Sandbox and who actually is using them, there are a number, at least dozens of celebrities who actually have bought land in the Sandbox, and people are buying up tons of land around them to be able to live digitally next to Snoop Dogg when he throws concerts and events in all of these metaverse spaces. There's also Adidas, Nike, Gucci, Atari, Burberry. They've also all bought land and are planning their own little fun lands. I don't know what you would even call that inside of the Sandbox. So I'm trying to do an even spread across all of them. I don't like the term going hard in this instance, but I really am buying as much as I possibly can. I won't tell you how many coins, simply because, I mentioned something before in another video and somebody was like, stop bragging. It's not me bragging. It's simply, people always ask like, what coins am I into? What projects am I into? A lot of the time, especially on the other channel, the news typically centers heavily around Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Shiba Inu, and XRP. But I'm also into many other coins, so I discuss that all here with you so we can have a discussion about what's happening in the actual ecosystem. Number two is going to come as absolutely no surprise. It is the coin Omi, or the coin Ecomi, as it's actually spelled out. This is the coin from or working with or associated with the people from Vivi, the NFT digital collectible app that I am also extremely bullish on. I think a lot of the stuff on Vivi right now is incredibly undervalued. There are a lot of things that I personally know. I'm not a psychic, but it's just more logical. If there is another bull run upward, the NFT market is also going to be dragged up there as well. There's a lot of stuff on the platform for $2, and it is going to at some point go to $4 and then $8 and maybe even $20 like we saw before during the last bull run. That is going to be a 10x from the original money that I put inside. But alas, I digress. The Omi token, as I mentioned before, has a very large coin burn. There are people who follow them on Twitter. If you do not have a Twitter, I would maybe advise you to do so. The cryptocurrency space really takes place a lot on Twitter. There are a number of accounts that show like exactly how many Omi, the token, are actually burned per day. Sometimes whenever Vivi, the NFT company, does a drop and they release a new NFT, depending on how many people bought it and are trading it during that day, there's a coin burn happening behind the scenes. Some days it's over 100 million coins that are being burned. Some days there have been over 1 billion coins that have been burned. Not joking. There is a reserve wallet full of Omi. Last I looked, it had 220 billion or something like that. I believe it's now under 200 billion because every single time that a drop happens, more and more Omi gets burned. It is believed that over the course of the next 12 months, that is to say from this moment, 12 months from now, the reserve wallet will be zero. All the extra Omi will have been burnt. There will be no Omi left except for the ones that are currently inside of the actual ecosystem. That is incredibly bullish to me. One of the main things that a lot of people talk about for Omi is that the coin eventually is going to go to $1. It's because it is doing the exact same thing that XRP did back in 2017. Not to, similarize them? To make them similar or compare them in any sort of way, but it's more of the coin started, the previous all-time high for Omi was 1 cent. Historically, whenever there is a bull market, we tend to get back at the previous all-time high and then move up a lot more. This coin is currently only on, I believe, 3 different cryptocurrency exchanges. It's not even on the major exchanges. It's not on Kraken, it's not on Coinbase, it's not on Gemini. And what's the other one? Fourth big exchange, it's not there as well. At some point it is going to be because they end up listing every single coin, but whatever they're doing behind the scenes, whoever they're talking to, it's still not on that exchange. But when it is, and the exposure goes extremely through the roof, this coin is probably going to hit 10 cents. Logically, a 10x from the 1 cent where it was before is basically a no-brainer. If there's barely any coins left, because there are tons of people who are stacking Omi right now. There are tons of people, once again on Twitter, who are even showing sometimes. I would recommend you not telling people exactly how much of something that you have, but there are tons of people who are buying up tons of Omi and they have a lot of Omi in anticipation of the reserve wallet going to zero, and they're not being anymore. There's plans for Vivi to also integrate the Omi token onto the actual app so that you can actually use the Omi token to be able to buy the NFTs. And they're also planning on that you'll be able to, those coins will be burned as the transaction also happens. They're also planning on making a metaverse called the Viviverse, where when you buy the land, say it with me, yeah, the Omi also gets burned as well. There's an entire gigantic burning mechanism that's taking place behind the scenes, and I think this is logically going to cause the coin to go to insanely new heights. On top of that, for the 95th time, it's not really 95th, it's like 14th time this year, they have partnered with, or the Omi token is associated with Vivi, which works with and has partnered with Disney, Marvel, DC, Ron English, Warner Brothers, Universal Studios, you name it. They have about 90 different brands. So every time that they release an NFT, it is an official NFT. It is not simply something that comes out willy-nilly. It is not something random. It is something from an actual large organization, corporation. I'm slightly out of breath, but there's just so many things happening with this coin. But a lot of people usually ask, and I've seen this sometimes as well, people ask me like, why am I bullish on it? And I try to explain, like I just did right now, as to why I'm bullish on the coin. And then they go, but why are you bullish on it? And it's like, did you not hear anything that I just was saying? I think the coin's going to be gigantic. I think it's going to be absolutely massive. If we end up getting to a point where the cryptocurrency, and I mean like we are back into the multi-trillion dollar and the stock market has recovered and interest rates are no longer being risen, and we go into a multi-year, 1 to 2 year actual bull cycle like we usually do as we follow the stock market, I think this coin will be worth past 25 cents. I think it'll easily go to 50 cents. $1 is also believable, but I try not to go for the exact number that people are really wanting it to go for. But also then once again, XRP was also 1 decimal place or 2 decimal places behind 1 cent. And it eventually went to $3.60 off of the idea that it was going to be listed on Coinbase. That was before XRP was actually being used, because over the last couple of years, XRP is also being used by a number of countries, banks, and organizations. So what happens when Omi is also being used on all these different platforms as well? Extremely bullish on it. I think the coin's price is almost laughable at this point for everything that we know is there and what we are also told is going to be coming. Number 3, now here's, okay, cool. Number 3, this one is kind of, I want to see what happens. Back in the thousands of years ago, when I first got into crypto, there was a coin that came out, I'm going to tell you the whole story. There was a coin that came out called Doggy Coin. And everyone was like, that is the weirdest thing in the entire world. How do you even say that? Doggy? I don't get it. We were told it was Doge. You know Dogecoin. Everyone knows Dogecoin. At that point, you were able to, I think it was $200 or $300. You were able to get around 1 million Dogecoin. It actually leads into a bit of a weird story. Long story short, I don't think he's watching. Hello if you are, sorry for the story. I had a friend who put a couple $100s into Dogecoin, had a couple million of them, and basically, long story short, he ended up moving. He sold his Dogecoin for the same exact amount that he sold it for. And then when Dogecoin went up to around 70 cents, he called me frantic, basically a little annoyed that he had sold all of his Dogecoin, which would have roughly around, it would have been several tens of millions of dollars if he had kept all of his Dogecoin, but he didn't. So, me and one of my good investing friends, hello, we have devised a meme plan, if you will. That is M-E-M-E, not Mimi, meme plan, where we are basically going to be throwing money, not a lot, don't get scared, money into, like I said, hold on, into Terra Luna Classic. And that's basically because I go over crypto news daily on the other channel. One of the things that I've noticed over the last 4 months is the amount of people who really like Terra Luna Classic. The project is kind of growing again from the ashes, not in a phoenix-like manner, but more in like, oh, there's a leaf. Wasn't there just a fire here? Kind of thing, and you see it growing. There are proposals to relaunch the stable coin or to repeg the stable coin. There's a gigantic coin burn happening behind the scenes. Nearly every cryptocurrency exchange is also burning Terra Luna Classic. And the reason why I mentioned the Dogecoin story, why could I not say that? The Dogecoin story is basically because this coin is at the moment incredibly cheap to acquire. So me and my friend, not the same friend who lost the money, but a new friend, we were like, hey, what if we got money into this market and simply just saw where it went? This is one of those instances where I say, like, don't throw money into the market that you can't afford to lose. We can afford to lose this money. This money means absolutely, this is a couple hundred whatever dollars. And we're like, if this, because the previous all-time high for Terra Luna was $100, and we're like, if we can get back to $1, we've memed ourselves to great amounts of money. This, I would not even advise you look at this coin because it is going to be the riskiest thing you have ever put. This coin literally fell by 99.99999%. Just as, that's not an estimate, that is the actual number. There are certain websites, when you look at the coin's price from where it was before to where it is now, it says it fell by 100%. You mathematically can't do that because it would have to, like, you can't lose 100. Anyway, the point is, it's not so much that I'm bullish on it, it's more of a, I feel like I lost out quite heavily on not having put any money into Dogecoin 1,000 years ago. And now that I'm at the point where there's another coin that's being just as hype as that coin, I don't mind waiting like 7 years. Imagine if this coin ends up having like an actual comeback in like 7 or 8 years and you're like, dude, I put $800 into that and I made like 1.2 million. Is it gonna happen? Probably not. Is it fun to do? Absolutely, I'm that kind of person. I like doing weird stuff. Anyway, I hope you all enjoy. I do weird stuff. I don't know. There's so much happening in the cryptocurrency space. It's more like a why not at this point. At least for me, it's my money. Me, don't do it with your money, but for me, it's kind of, why? There was nothing on this planet that told me that doggy coin was going to go up to 70 cents. It's somewhere around the estimate of if you had put $5,000 to $10,000, I don't know the exact number, it's somewhere around there, you would have gotten 100 million Dogecoin. If it hit 70 cents, from your 5,000, you would have made $70 million. Exactly, yeah, see, I know, it's that kind of number game that's not like, sure, why not? I'll throw it into Terra Luna Mega Classic. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for the likes, the comments, and the subscriptions, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.